within different schools of thought, especially the Indic version of lust, Vidwans or scholars have put 3 forms of happiness of lust, right? One, they say, is when you think of what you want, right? When you think of your beloved or what you want, right? Second is when you see it, and you see your love or you see your beloved. Third is when you embrace your love. So 1 is when you talk about it, 2 is when you see it, 3 is when you embrace it, right? So each form gives you happiness until the desire of the next step doesn't come within your mind. And when you see and hear whatever you're desiring, you're happy until the next thought doesn't come that you want to actually feel and touch whatever you're desiring. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Saad Sangat Ji, welcome back to the next episode of the Charitropakhyan series. We're looking at the 29th Charitra here. Soratha Bandsar ke Mahan Nirpa par diya uthai sut. So, just like in the previous overlaying story, Raja Charitra Singh sends down his son to the dungeons once the previous katha is done. And then Bohro Leo Balai Por Hot Apne Nikat. And then when it's sunrise, he calls back his son Raja Hanumant Singh near him. Dohra Dutiya Mantri Buddhabar Raj Reet Ki Khan. There's 2 mantris here that are advising the king. Each person is saying a different charitra. Here, the second mantri is now going to speak, who is the Raj Reet Ki Khan, who knows the ways of Rajriti, the political tactics, the political knowledge, political wisdom. Ki Khan means a mind. He's the mind of political wisdom. This second mantri here, as to say that he's very wise. The subject of political warfare, political knowledge. Chitra Singh Raja Nikat Katha Bakhani on. And now he's come to Raja Chitra Singh to say a katha to him. Chopai Sarta Nikat Rav Ikraha. He said next to a river lived a Raja, a king. Madan Ket Nama Jakaha. His name was Madan Ket, is highlighted here in blue. Madan Mati Triyatah Ik Basi. And around there, around that river lived a woman whose name was Madan Mati, Sang Sotavan Rai Ke Rasi, who would go and visit the king Madan Ket from time to time. Dohra Pair Nadi ke Par ko Uth Nirp Teh Prat Jaye, Pant Pant Teh Nar ko Pajit Adik Sukh Pai. So basically they lived on the opposite sides of the river. So the king lived on one side of the river, while this woman, Madan Mati, she lived on the other side of the river. And Madan Mati would, from time to time go across this river to meet her, this king, who was her lover, who was her beloved, and they would, adik sukhapai, they'll be very happy when they meet each other, when they embrace each other. Chaupe kabhu pair nadi nirp java, kabhu tar ta ko tri ava. Sometimes Madan Mati would go, sometimes Madan Ket would go, sometimes the king would go across the river, sometimes the woman would go across the river. Ab bikhe ate hit upajava, pant pant so po kamava. They would go for the love of each other, and pant pant so po kamava, and they will embrace each other in love in different ways. Kok Shastra ki reet uchara pant anek ras rat kara. They would, there was something called the Kok Shastra. So the Kok Shastra is basically an encyclopedia of how to make love. So there's different techniques in there. It's a very old Indic text. You could probably look it up online, and there's some PhD papers on it as well. Different people's research on it. It basically shows or teaches how to embrace your lover, right? So they will go through the Shastra. They will go through different techniques, and pant anek ras rat kara, and they will embrace each other and indulge in each other in different ways. Lapata kar kel kamava, they'll play the game of love with each other, embrace each other. वैसे ही पैर नदी कर आवा, and then in that same way, once they were done, they'll all return to their respective homes. So if the woman Madan Mati was visiting her lover Madan Kate, then she would go back to her home, and then vice versa. Asi bid do nit bihara taap chitiko sakal nivara. So in this way, they will spend their time and they will take away all their pains and sadness by meeting each other and performing love. Kaam keel boh bid upajava vaise hi pair nadi kar aava. And within their hearts, lust, kaam keel, lust was playing a huge role. And once finished indulging their lust, they'll return to their respective homes. Okay. Dohra tari taran avat hutti hirday hark upjaye. One day, the woman, Madan Mati, she was very happy. She was coming to meet her beloved. Tabalo lehar samundar si nikat pahunchi ai. And once she went to the river this very day, what happened was the river's waves were very powerful that day, and she was not able to catch her feet, and she slipped and the river took her away. Apano so balkar thaki parna pai banaye. When she exhausted her strength and she could not carry herself across the river, she could not hold herself up. Nadar lehar nadi ki aayat hai la gayi kahum bahaye. And she's looking for now some help to help her in this situation. Chaupe boh behat behat kosan boh gayi lagat ek kinare pahi. Ek hi drist hai ayo haan kamar triya tahe balayo. And in this situation, she sees ahir, and this word came up last time as well. Ahir means a gujar, is someone who milks cows, who does farming. And she saw a ahir or a gujar, and she called out to him, haan kamar. Haan kamar means that she yelled out to him for help. Dohra he ahir ho jaat ho behat nadi ke mahe jo hayate kaade mujhe veh hamro nahe. So she told him, hey Gujar, I'm getting swept away here in this river. I make a proposition to you. I make I'll give you something that if you save me, whoever saves me, and in fact she says, whoever saves me, whoever takes me out of this river, I will be theirs forever, as in they will become my husband. Chaupi tavat sun ahir bach ayo. Just hearing this, that ahir, that gujar, he ran towards the river. Anch triya kahe tir lagayo. He picked her up out of the river. Bohor pog tehe sotin kariyo karla jai karan tehe kariyo. And in that way, because she had promised that she'll become his, she had promised that she'll become his wife, he basically took her home, and they committed to the school of marriage with each other, as in she had to embrace him then as her husband. Dohra pran bachayo apno rat ahir so than bohur rav ki ruch badi adik tarun ki aan. In this dohra, Guru Sahib is summarizing by saying that to save her life, she basically got married to this Gujar, but her mind, and her heart was still longing for the king, that king Madan Kate. Her being, her heart, her soul is calling out to that king. She doesn't want to be with this Gujar, but because of the promise she made, because he saved her life, she feels obligated to stay in this relationship. Chaupai sun ahir main triya tihari. Tum pyare mohe main tohe pyari. So one day, she couldn't take it, and she really wants to see the king, Madan Kate. So she tells her husband, she says, look, I'm your, loved one, and you're mine, right? We love each other. Rai nagar mein nehen niharo, teh the khana keh hiya hamaro. My heart wants to see the king of the city. I haven't seen him, won't you take me to see him? Yeah. Dohra chalo abha uth kya do tavan nagar mein jaye. And her husband said, okay, I'll take you. So both of them, they get up and they go into the main capital or the main city area to find the king. Pant pant ke sukara hirday hark upajaye. And Madan Mati, she's very happy. She's very happy because she's getting closer and closer to her objective, right? She wants to go back to the king. She wants to see him. Her heart's longing to meet him. So she's getting happy. And within different schools of thought, especially the Indic version of lust, Vidwans or scholars have put three forms of happiness, of lust, right? One, they say, is when you think of what you want, right? One they say is when you think of your beloved or what you want, right? Second is when you see it, you see your love or you see your beloved. Third is when you embrace your love, right? Or the lust that you have for whatever you're looking for, whatever you desire, right? So one is when you talk about it, two is when you see it, three is when you embrace it, right? So each form gives you happiness until the desire of the next step doesn't come within your mind, right? So if you're talking about whatever you're desiring, whether that be a good desire or a bad desire, you are happy talking about it until the next thought doesn't come that you want to see and hear whatever you're desiring. Then when you see and hear whatever you're desiring, you're happy until the next thought doesn't come that you want to actually feel and touch whatever you're desiring. So this is exactly what's happening here, is that she now wants to, she's talked about him, she wants to see him, right? She's on to the second step here. And she's very happy. Yeah, pant ke sukare. Hirday means heart. Harak means happiness. Upajai. So many happinesses is entering her heart. Tavannagar avat pai la gujar ke saath. So she comes into the king's city with this gujar. Te wahi tar petat pai ohi nirpat ke saath. And then somehow she manages to get close to Madan Kate, the king, the one that she loved. She gets just into a secluded area with him, into his room. Somehow she leaves behind her Gujar husband. Maybe she made an excuse or something that I'm going to the bathroom or whatever it may be. But she basically left him outside and she went inside the room where the king was isolated, secluded, all alone. Chopei tasi pant nadi tar gayi vasi pet nipat so pei. And when she saw the king, it was just like how she got swept away in the river. Guru Sahib is using an analogy here, that just like she got swept away in the river, in the same way she's getting swept away by seeing the king, as in her heart's like blowing up. The king, Madan Kate, said, it's been so long, I've been seeing you for so long, where have you been? Aaj hamari sej suhai, now you come to me, now you come onto my sejja, my bed, you come to my room now, but where were you for so long? Dohra sun raja tum bin adik triya payo tan dukhya. She said to him, like, without you, Madan Mati, she's talking to Madan Kate by saying that without you I've been so dukhi, I've been so depressed without you. Tum ham pa ko na pateo puchan ko sur manukhya. Why did you not send someone to look for me? Why did you not send someone to ask about me? I couldn't come to you, but why didn't you send anyone for me? As in, so she's not really, it's like a rhetorical question. She's not really looking for an answer. She's just expressing that I've been away. I got swept away, and this is what happened to me. Why didn't you send someone for me? So Chopei jab tri adik dukhya tan payo prana kol ham kook sanayo. So she's narrating what happened to her. She said, like, I got swept away. I was coming to you one day, and I got swept away in the river. It was so strong. And ever since I've been separated from you. But when I was being swept away, I called out for help. Yo ya dukh te bed upara so hamro hai nath bihara. And when I yelled out for help, I said, whoever helps me, they'll be my husband, I'll be their wife, they'll be my swami, they'll be my master. So she had made this promise. Dohra ek ahir upachar kar moko liyo ubar. She said there was a ahir there, a gujar there. He saw me and he saved me. Ab moso aise kahat ho hai hamari nar. And now he, you know, because of what I yelled out, you know, now he wants me to be his wife. And so this is the situation I'm in right now. Dukat hoye tohe main yo kahi. In this, you know, very painful state, very depressed state, I'm narrating this story to you. She says to the king, Mo karte batiya ab rahi, koho raja mo keh kar kariya, taso chhad rank keh bariya. Hanji Raja ji, dasso mainu main hun ki karan. So she tells Madan Ki, tell me what should I do? I'm stuck in this situation. How do I leave you for such a poor person, you know? How do I leave a king, you know, for this Gujar? And Gujars are, you know, just known to be, you know, so just not very wealthy, you know, not very, but just comfortable living kind of people, right? So she narrates this to the king, and now let's find out what the king does. Dohra sunata bachan ta ko nirpat liyo ahir bulai. When the king heard this, you know, he right away, he got his soldiers. He's like, go outside. There's a Gujar there. You know, to see, you know, just capture him, right? Arrest him, basically. You know, take his arms and bind them together. Arrest him. Turat ban tanko diya sarta bikhe bhai. Sarta means the river, you know, and so they caught him. They arrested him, and then the soldiers, under the hukam, under the orders of the king, they threw him into the river. You know, that same river where he had saved Madan Mati, the same river, you know, he's being thrown into and therefore killed. You know, now the mantris or Guru Sahib Ji is giving the moral of the story here. They're saying, Pran obareo sukh diya jamte liya bajai. That man who saved this woman, gave her happiness, saved her from the claws of death. That woman for the king, she has gotten that guy killed. That disa aise charitre dikhai, you know, in this way she has played such a charitre where that person who had saved her from that very river that was going to kill her, drown her, the same person who was the victim here is now become the reason of his death. You know, she has now gotten that same person killed and thrown into that same river. You know, why? Because for her desires of the king. You know, I would definitely like to hear what you guys thought about this charitre. You know, I always do share my interpretations of it as much as I can, but I also want to hear from you guys. What values can you pick up from this story? And if you can comment them down below. I do read all your comments, and I really do appreciate you guys taking the time to comment and like the videos, subscribing to the channel. It really does help me to understand the interest there is on this series. So please do leave your comments below, and do let me know what you thought about this charitre. What values can you pick up? What morals can you pick up? You know, for me, what I see is that, you know, she already had committed to the Raja, right? So she should not have made such a big claim that she'll go anywhere else, you know, because now the person who's picking you up, who's saving you, he does not know the baggage you're carrying. He does not know your past, right? For him, he's saving you and thinking that this is it. This is going to be my partner now, right? He doesn't know about your past, right? So it's an injustice to that person that you've now just committed to, because you're already in a relationship. You know, you're already with someone else, and therefore your heart's already got to be there. It's not going to let go so easily, you know. So for that reason, before you move on to another relationship, it's very important that you're ready to move on to a relationship, right? The baggage is not there, you know. So these are the kind of things that I picked up from this charitre here. So Sasangaji, this was the 29th charitre, and please forgive us for our many mistakes, and I'll see you in the next one. Ji, Pul Chukan Dikhima, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.